Hey guys, welcome back to this amazing wagon build. Today we're going to go ahead and change out the all-wheel drive motor, and I'm going to put you right here and take you along with me. Hopefully it's enjoyable. Over here and open up our box of goodies here from FCP. This is the transfer case actuator motor. Three extra bolts, because once you torque these, they are not good to use again. I've already opened this once. That's why it's not plastic, but that is the reason our all-wheel drive system does not work right now. I'm sure ours is OEM with 201,000 miles on it. So we're going to get that fixed. Got a man oil filter. Got some protectant, some Ceratec for the oil change. Also got this oil engine cooler gasket. And then, of course, we got our oil change. My favorite, Molly Gen by Liqui Moly. And then an engine flush, because we don't know how much gunk is inside of this engine, so might as well do an engine flush. And this is the dullest razor blade I've ever met in my life. Barely cuts plastic. Engine flush. Molly Gen. Trash. We use that box when we pack up the shop and move to the new shop. That'll be fun. Don't look forward to that. So there's that. Alright guys, we can't really take this bracket off because I can't get to the bolt. Then there's a bolt that goes through this mount right here, and then of course supports all of this. So I'm going to try my best to just get it out from right here. And it's gonna suck. Alright guys, we were able to get it out without removing that brace completely. Here's the old versus new. I don't know if you can see it with my light. Yeah, that's probably better. So old versus new there. So the problem with this one is when it went to engage, it actually wasn't engaging all the way. So it just made a squeaky sound when you're shifting gears, when it shifts between first and second and third. I don't know if that's supposed to jiggle or not. I guess a little bit. But couldn't really film much of it since you can't really see anything up under there anyways. But basically it's pretty easy to wiggle it out of there. And then you got two plugs, one here and one here. And just 3 bolts. Pretty simple. Alright guys, we got the new one in there. Got everything hooked up. Hopefully you can see that. I know it's kind of hard to see. Right there. Got the plugs hooked up. Everything torqued down. Now we just need to put these bolts back in here. And that'll be it for that. Take it for a spin and see if we fix the problem. featuring Devin.
Getting in.
There you go, I'll hand you this camera. Video anything.
Anything. Including, where might the fucking seatbelt be?
It's a damn thing somewhere. I'll have to bleep that out now. It's okay, it's still recording, I think. Unless you press the button.
I ain't touching nothing.
No, you're still recording. You're good. Oh, there's your car. So if that sound was the sound squeaking from gear shifting and then it trying to actuate, no squeak? No squeak?
No squeak.
That means it should be all-wheel drive now.
That means you just floor it.
Let's let it chill for a second, get used to running.
I guess, yeah. Take it easy.
It feels different though.
Does
It feels
it?
a little bit different. Eek. Oh. Live on the worst road in history.
It's rough for lowered cars.
This is a very refined 1904 wooden war wagon. It has the best of the best suspension, straight from eBay. Oh no, there's a lady crossing the street. And some tennis skirt thing.
Is that the squeaky
Well,
shit you were talking about?
Yeah, it stopped engaging and then it immediately engaged. Okay. Well, it's working, I think. Except for
How do you know?
for a couple seconds. Did you not just feel it jump into all-wheel drive?
Well, I felt something happen. Does that mean it's still in full all-wheel drive?
I guess.
I kind of feel a little bit of a pulling sensation.
I will floor it here in a minute. Broke traction. What the fuck? How did I do that?
It's like understeered.
Now I'm gonna have to delete that or block that.
Just delete
Censor
the steer.
that.
Delete the
Censor.
steering.
No, I meant yes. Delete the whole steering.
Yeah.
Go into Tesla mode. No steering wheel needed. It's like since it hasn't had all-wheel drive for so long, it's kind of like trying to learn it or something.
I don't know.
But it definitely feels different than it did.
Feels a lot better since you did the control arm.
Yeah, tremendously better. Now it doesn't feel like we're going to just yeet off into the side of the
Yeah. I'm
road
just
here.
waiting for the ball joint to snap.
That just makes it interesting.
I don't think your fenders would agree.
Yeep.
Oh, we're off road now.
You gotta use that all-wheel drive, bro.
How many point turn?
32. You know what's funnier than 24?
No.
25. SpongeBob.
I never watched SpongeBob.
What?
Yeah. I
Oh.
think I'd like just above the age gap for that.
You missed out.
I mean, I've seen like bits and pieces of certain episodes where like my nephews and nieces had watched it or whatever.
Missing out, man. It's like one of the best cartoons ever.
Squidbillies.
Oh, Squidbillies is a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably wouldn't get the jokes.
Flooring it. Holy shit, it's slow. The traction control light come on.
Yeah, it did.
Why?
It felt like the fronts were like getting a little squirrely, man.
What if it was like primarily supposed to be front wheel drive and the rear is just secondary? And this whole time it's been driving with no front wheel power?
Yeah. I doubt that is accurate.
Well, why else is it causing the freaking traction control light to come on?
Well, the ground's wet. And, I don't know. Maybe it's got like 400 horsepower. That's the front spinning, right?
That is definitely the front spinning.
Yeah, it feels like a front wheel drive car now, kind of.
What? Oh.
That German engineering.
I mean, hey, it works, I guess.
It's like, it's been a while since you've driven a front wheel drive car. When we slid back there, that was understeer.
Oh, yeah. One time I was... I have an idea. Precision Race Works. Boom. Installed. Oh, and it's broken.
Guess that's not staying on.
Oh, the hood. The hood's just going to knock me out. Hold on a second.
It's like one of those covers you have to drop the engine out to get off.
Removes entire engine to remove the beauty cover.
Yeah.
Filthy and leaky. Leaky from here though. Down there it looks fine. Surprisingly. But this is what we came for.
Turbos.
Well, the freaking way. Thing back here for that car. Maybe.
Three
Guess what we're
M10.
gonna use this on.
For what?
I don't know. Just want to put it on something. Oh, I got an idea.
You just want to completely cover the roof with it?
I got an idea right here. Roof racks.
Oh,
Stay
Raptor
with me.
Rex.
Black. Nice and clean.
And then
And back dirty.
back on the dirty floor.
The dev.
It's alright. This doesn't need to be perfect. Just needs to not whistle.
The vinyl's damaged anyway. It's like literally trash. So it's not like I'm wasting anything. Just want to throw it on here.
That vinyl. Oh yeah. Wonder if it would fit.
Stay. This vinyl is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good that it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick at all.
Yeah.
It's too cold or something. I don't know. Fuck. Anyways, never mind.
If you're seeing this, please call for help. Being held against my will. Oh, nothing.
Okay, I thought you said something.
Helping you with some camera stuff.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yep, so we're just going to slide this rack right here. Come to the other side. Slide this rack. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Now we'll just, you see me?
No, there's a bolt in the way.
I guess I got the wrong side. Nope, no. Maybe I do.
God.
Cut the camera off.
Is it the right size?
Could you move that this way just a little? A little bit more. Okay. Working out.
Yeah. So is it like
We enjoying that conversation?
Alright guys, got you on the forehead cam now. Today we're going to go ahead and jump into an oil change. Got some 100% coolant. Got some more oil, engine flush. We got the oil cooler gasket, and then some protectant and a filter. So we're going to jump over here, pop this hood open, and this hood doesn't seem to want to stay up. So conveniently enough, this hood prop right here, it's not a shovel. I promise it's not a shovel. Seems to work nearly perfectly. So we're going to go ahead and use that and take this off. It's just held on by 3 grommets. Easy enough. Now we're going to take apart this, or we're going to take this bolt off, and then there's one on the bottom as well. Now be careful, you will expect to spill some coolant and some oil. You don't want that getting all over your belt. I want to put some rags on my belt so that doesn't happen. Light set up here, it's actually my forehead light, but I've got the GoPro on the forehead, so I'm going to take a 12.10 millimeter and just carefully break these loose. There's one on the very bottom that's kind of hard to, can't really see it, just kind of have to get a feel for it here. And break it loose. I'm going to take a little pick tool and get this old gasket out. Careful not to damage any of the metal. You don't want to scratch that and then have a chance of it leaking. Kind of stubborn sometimes. Yeah, this gasket is very old and very brittle. Stop. sure you get all of the pieces out of there. Of course, it's still making a mess, and somebody's put green coolant in here, so we're going to get all that out of there, and put BMW, you know, the blue coolant in there. And you can see all of this freaking nasty, disgusting residue from this leaking. It's freaking coolant just making a mess. I'm gonna take and get some of this crap off of here while I'm down in here. Just gonna take a little brush here in a minute and some brake clean and carefully get all this gunk off of here. See if I can make it look any better. So this car actually has a jacking point in the front and the middle, so it makes putting it on jack stands a whole lot easier. We're going to basically get it up as high as we can and as safe as we can, and then we're going to put it on jack stands, and we're going to do the same with the back as well, because any fluids that you want to get out of the car, you don't need to have the car on an incline. It needs to be flat and level. We're going to throw our liquid moly engine flush in there. I'm not really sure if you can see that because the light's so freaking bright. I hope you've been able to see what I've been doing so far. So we put this whole bottle in there, and then we let the vehicle idle for 10 minutes. Oh, she's dirty. Can you see that? Can you see how dirty that is? It's pretty dirty. Let's see if... Alright guys, I'm switching to my Canon camera. My GoPro is being a super pile of crap. I don't know why, but it keeps just saying that the SD card is not there. Alright, you see how dirty that is right now? It's pretty freaking dirty. There we go. So that's before the engine flush, which I don't know if we'll notice that much up top, but we might. So now we're going to start the car and run it for 10 minutes. So it's been 10 minutes and it's time to drain the oil. This right here is your oil drain. Just gonna go ahead and crack it open. It's kind of hard to do this, you know. I'm trying to set it up here where you can see it. Oh, 17 millimeter. Go ahead and put our drain pan under it. It's gonna be kind of toasty since the vehicle just ran for 10 minutes idling. So you're probably gonna get a little bit burnt, but let's try not to. See if we can do that TikTok trend where it don't get oil on me. Oh, Not bad, not bad. And I don't know how long it's been since this oil was changed. The previous owner didn't really give me like any indication, but the oil looks pretty good actually, as far as like health wise. It's pretty cloudy. But I think it's mostly because of that cleaner we put in there. As you can see, it's a little bit darker now. It's pretty freaking dirty. It's probably like, I would say probably a 5,000, 6,000 mile oil change. Personally, I don't like to go over 5,000. In these older vehicles, I normally try to do them about 3,000. In the newer vehicles like the M5, I try to do it about 5,000. But looks pretty good so far. Now we can go up top. So in your oil filter box, you'll have your oil filter itself, obviously. Now we've got gasket, a crush washer, and another gasket. The two gaskets go on the cap, and then the crush washer, of course, is for the oil drain plug. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and take this off. And then you can hear it whenever you get past the seal. You can hear it come out more at the bottom while it's still draining. Make sure you don't put your drain plug in back in just yet. We're gonna let this drain out a minute, and then don't loosen it too much so that you don't make a mess up here again. But we'll give it about 5 minutes like that, and then we'll pull out the filter and inspect it. I would always recommend, just whenever you pull it out, just get a bright light and shine on it and make sure there's no like metal flakes or anything like that. In this case, it looks like we're good. I'm not too worried about tearing this filter actually open. I don't see any metal flakes or anything like that. Not a single one, so that's definitely a good sign. So the gaskets that came with the oil filter, this is the big one. We're going to take it off. Put it to the side. Or well, I guess I could have put it in that box. Threw it on the floor instead. And then we're going to take the small one off. These are actually still pretty rubbery, so that's good. It's not like dry rotted or anything and brittle. Now I'm going to go ahead and open this bag, put these new gaskets on. Put a little bit of oil on them. There's some oil on my hands, so that'll be enough to prevent it from sticking when you tighten it back on. And then for the other one, probably going to try to get a little bit more oil on it. Just down from this cap. And that's good. Take our man filter and snap it in place. Pop the top back off. Now if you notice, there's still a bunch of oil in here. And when you go and you take your car to get the oil changed for $30 at some quick lube place, what they're not going to do is get that oil out. What I do personally, and I do this for my customers as well, So I'll take and I'll clean out this. I'll soak it completely up and clean it out with these shop rags. And make sure I get every little bit of that out of there. Because obviously it would be contaminating the new oil. And I know we can't get every little drop of oil out of it, out of the engine from, you know, the inside. But what we can do is we're able to access this oil and get it out. So why wouldn't we do that while we're there? Just one little thing that you can do to take an extra step in cleaning your vehicle and its health and making sure everything is done right and well. Alright guys, so now that that's clean, we're going to take our filter and put it right down in there. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get under the car, put our drain plug back in with our new crush washer on it, and clean it up and torque it to spec. Alright guys, I'm going to put that in there to protect it. This is what it says it does. If you want to, you can pause it and read it. If the camera will focus on it. So there's that. Check out this oil. It is green, just like what I used in the M5 Molly Gen. If you hold a black light where you suspect an oil leak is happening, it will actually glow. So I've took this one out of the quart because this car actually holds 6.5 liters, not 6.5 quarts, liters, not quarts. So I'm going by liters. So this is 5, this is 6. What's left in this and this will create 6.5. So this will be my extra. I'll pour it back into here. That way in case I ever need it. But I'm going to pour in this first, then I'll pour in this, and then I'll pour in the 2 smaller ones. And as far as an update on cleanliness inside, it seems to be probably about 50% cleaner. That spring is still really dirty, but everything else looks quite clean. Like shrimp sauce, and it smells like Captain America's freaking sweatsuit. Really weird. Hopefully it's good stuff. It's made by Liqui Moly, so I would assume it's good. I want to make sure I get all that out of there. Then pour in the rest of my oil. So with my my old oil, I'm going to actually be putting it into the same container. That way I can take it to my local auto parts store. Most of the time they will dispose of it for free and recycle it. So that's usually what I do. Sometimes your town will even do it. Okay guys, got the oil change done, and now just in case we got any coolant into or any oil into our coolant when we did that gasket, we're going to go ahead and drain the coolant. So if you look around underneath your car, you'll see something similar to this valve right here. We should be able to loosen it with our hands, and that should let some coolant out. If not, we can take a flathead screwdriver and unscrew it. So this line right here is like directly in the way, so I'm sure it'll make a huge mess. But we're going to get all this green coolant out of here. And then we're going to go up top and open this up. Now it's really coming out. Got that drained out. I'm gonna go ahead and put our BMW coolant in here. And then I didn't buy any distilled water, but what I do have is purified water, and these normally hold like right at 2 gallons or so. And then we'll also have to bleed the system. So we have one fog light working and one fog light not working. So we're going to also replace that bulb here in just a minute. Alright guys, now we're doing the bleeding process, and as you can see, it cycles the water pump on and off. Really basically runs it at full speed and then slows it down. Does its best to get all the air bubbles out. This takes about 15 minutes. I do it about 3 times. That's about 45 minutes. And then you may or may not have to add water or coolant along the way. We're about good right now. But see, it's off, and then here in just a second it'll turn it back on like that. Gets all the air out. It's really important that you do this. If not, your car is going to overheat because of all the air bubbles trapped in it. Here's an update. This is about halfway through the second go round. Let's see when it starts back up here. It'll be probably a lot more clear than it was before. I have this towel here just to prevent it from splashing up out into the engine bay. See, all that's air coming out. Definitely still want to get all that air out. Okay, while that is bleeding, I'm going to go ahead and replace both of these fog light bulbs. Now I just need to get my hand back up in there. Might have to take this down, but maybe not. It just turns and pulls out. Well, I was able to get it out, and I think I know why it's not working. Huh. Weird. Well, here's old versus new, and I actually took this one out of the pack and freaking dropped it and cracked the end off of it. But it should still work because it didn't actually break anything else or damage anything inside. Hey! Alright guys, that'll be it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.